Alright, everybody, I'm trying to get the video to work. It keeps saying TikTok is not responding. What is going on? Alright, business start. I'm hoping the video keeps saying TikTok is not responding. Can anybody see this? Hear this? What is going on? Alright, I'm gonna try to see it's saying TikTok isn't responding again. I'm gonna put some liquid white on the canvas and give it a minute. Alright, so this magic white or liquid white. I mix my own, just titanium white and linseed oil. And these are oil paints. Start at the top. I start pulling it down. It is a really thin layer that goes on here. That's why you put it on and pull it down. And when it starts to dry out, that's where you put more on. Don't add any more until you have to. Tonight I'm on the post board, so it's going to soak up. Man, I can't keep tapping the screen all night and trying to paint. Here we go again. Make sure your edges are covered. And like I was saying, because tonight I'm using postboard, I may have to go back over it lightly right at the end, because it soaks up that first little bit that you put on. The easy way to tell is right when you think you've finished putting the magic white on your canvas, look down the side, make sure the whole thing is shining. I catch myself at the end, there'll be a spot here and a spot here and a spot here that's dry. You won't see it unless you look down the side. It'll look wet looking right at it. Good. Not as much as I did before, just a little bit. It's starting to get really slick, and that's what you want. That's what allows the paint to move around. That thin layer of oil on the canvas, really, really thin layer. Alright, I'm gonna give it a few seconds down here at the bottom, because like I said, it's gonna soak up that first little bit. But if you think you put too much on your canvas, just clean your brush off and go over it dry, top to bottom. Lots of pressure. Because if you mess this part up, to me, the rest of the paint is really hard to do. This has to be perfect. Bob Ross says this is the number one reason most paintings fail. There's a lot of steps that are really important before you can start painting. Alright, I'm gonna clean the brush off. I'll make sure it's really dry and clean before I go back up there. Now, I done had to tap the screen at least 15 times because it says TikTok isn't responding. It just popped up again. I don't know if I'm going to be able to paint and do this all night. Hey, Lisa Granny. Thanks for coming. Alright, clean, dry brush. Start at the top. Just pull that down. And it'll pick up any heavy spots. Like I said, it's a really thin layer. Because this is postboard, And I even do it on regular canvas, but it soaks up that first layer of oil. Sometimes you have to go back and add a little bit. But if you look right down the side of the canvas, you can see those dry spots. And add a little bit to those spots. Once again, if you think you added too much, clean your brush off, go back over it, pulling from top to bottom. Alright, this is feeling about right. Now when I first put it on, when the paint hit the canvas, it kind of was a little sticky. When you start pulling the thickness down, and once it gets really thin, the brush starts getting to where it slides across there. That's another way you can tell, but that takes a few paintings before you start feeling the difference. Alright. Just want to clean off these little hairs before I start. Clean, dry brush, just pull everything down. Alright, I'm going to look down the side of the canvas. And everything is shining now, so I know I can move on. And I then went over it with a dry brush twice, so I know it's not too heavy. And the way it's sliding across there is exactly how you want it to feel. I got some new brushes and they're just falling apart. Alright. Now I'll start putting some colors up there. This is where the fun starts. For those of y'all that missed it, you can mix your own magic white or liquid white, whatever you want to call it. You can mix your own with titanium white and linseed oil, about 50-50. You can even go just a little bit heavy, couple drops more on the oil. Alright, let's start thinking about some colors. Tonight I don't want to do one quite as bright as I've been. I'll try another yellows and brown painting and see how it comes out. Thank you, Harry House. Lisa Granny, thank you so much. Man, I don't know what to do about this little thing. It says TikTok isn't responding. I'm gonna be upset if it don't record it. Alright. I'm having to dig out some colors. Most of my paintings are bright. I keep those colors right on top. Alright. What's a cad yellow out? tube's busted, so now I got it all over my hands. If you use oil paint, you need a good dishwashing soap, like Dawn. I've tried other stuff. But your hands don't come clean without it. Alright, let's see. Got some Van Dyke Brown. There's some burnt umber. Definitely some yellow ochre. Need a good red, so we'll get some Alizar red. I need some burnt sienna. There we go. Alright, that should work. That'll give us enough to start with. Hi, Bill. Thank y'all for coming. Alright. Jewel, thank you. Thank you so much. Bill, thank you so much. Alright, let's start with some colors. We'll start with a yellow and work our way out to a brown. So just cad yellow. Don't put no heavy paint up there. Just get some color on the tip of your bristle of the brush. I'm even tapping it off on the side, trying to get some of it off. The less you put up there, the easier it is to blend. Let's see. Make sure this is nice and bright. Let's come down here and do the same thing. And this will be for reflections. Don't worry about it, ain't gotta be exact. There's some color down here for right now. Alright, we'll clean the brush off. I'm going to put each color down and then blend them together. Normally I would just keep mixing on the brush, but this time we're going to separate them. Alright, next I'll go into the yellow ochre. Remember, tap very little color onto the brush. It'll be a lot easier to work with. Plus, once you get a lot of heavy paint up there, then it wants to turn into mud. Same thing. Right around the edge. Small X's. Remember, use small X's. Alright, we'll clean the brush off again. Oh, I should have put the bottom in. Let's go ahead and do that too. Go right back into that same yellow ochre. Just a little bit of color in between these back here. There you go. Go right around the edge of it. We'll blend them together in a minute. Alright, now let's go into the, what color was that? Red sienna, yeah. Clean the brush. Yeah, I know, it looks like a mess, right? That's the best part. You gotta do all these steps before you can make it pretty. I hope. Do the bottom the same way. And as things get closer to you, they should get a little bit bigger. This is just about getting that color up there. Alright, now some red. That was our red. small X's, small X's. Just blocking in color. We will use all this for reflections and sunlight. Alright, right around the top corners up there, I'm gonna put some dark, well, not dark brown, but Van Dyke brown. Remember, tap just a small amount of color. Doesn't take a whole lot. The canvas is wet, so a little bit goes a long way. And then down here on the bottom, show a lot more of it. I know y'all want, oh, that's a mess. That's a mess. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, we got some color up there. I'm gonna get my 1.5 inch really soft bristle brush. Really soft. I'll start right here on this edge. Small X's with the corner of the brush. Just work it in. That way you don't have no hard lines. It looks like the wind is just twisting through there. Let your brush build your sky for you. Start with the lightest and work your way out to the darkest. What I mean is you don't want to come down here and then go back up into your light. Do these edges the same way all the way around. Small X's, corner of your brush. Not a lot of pressure either. More than 3 hairs and some air, like Bob. Bob would say 3 hairs and some air, but it's a couple more hairs than that. Alright. Still a lot to do, but just getting rid of all those ugly edge lines. Alright. Now I'm not any heavy paint right off the brush. I ain't gotta clean it. And then start at the bottom, work your way up. Just going across it. Just blend everything in. make sure you clean your brush and make sure it's dry before you put it back up there. I want to soften all this out. Just small X's. Or whatever pattern you want to go. Sometimes, you know, I want to bring the wind in, so I'll pull it. But not a lot of pressure though. You will destroy it. I got tape around the canvas so that when I pull it off, there'll be a border around it. I've been doing that lately. I kind of like it. Right back here, make it really soft. Just lightly pulling these together. Alright, good enough. We got some beautiful sky and some reflection for any water we want to put in. Alright, let's start with what does this need? I'll go with just a little bit of Van Dyke Brown, just a small amount, and a small amount of burnt sienna. Just mix it right on the brush. So thinking. Right now we're just putting this in treetops. I'm shaping my ground back there, my land. just back and forth, tapping a little bit of burnt sienna, a little bit of Van Dyke brown. Alright, just a second, we're gonna take a soft brush and pull up on these trees, make them look like trees far off in the distance. Right, just with the not very far, and make sure you pull straight up. I mean, you'd have a crooked tree or two, but at that distance, your whole heel needs to go straight up, not straight to the side. And even come back and pull up some of these spots too. Just helps it look more like trees out there. At a distance. Back there, we just let it fade away. Same thing. I don't want to cover up that little gap in between these two that separates each of those planes. Really soft touches, just pulling straight up. I got my brush angled, but I'm still pulling straight up. Alright, now we're going to take a brush and right at the very bottom, just tap that really lightly. And get rid of all those marks. Make it look like there's mist back there. Because we got that liquid white already on the canvas, it's going to allow all those colors to just get really, really soft. It'll look like it's sitting in a cloud. Try not to make it just a straight line across there, that's why I'm coming up in some spaces and back down. Alright, now just I'm going to pull this back up the mountain just a little. Alright, tap lightly again. Just gets rid of all those little brush marks, strokes, and everything. Alright, that looks good. Alright, let's think about the next one. We'll get the... No, we'll do one more set of heels before putting any trees over them. Alright, I just love how that light comes through back there. Looks real good. Work these to it really soft. Because it's wet, I can just pull that yellow on back. Alright, that'll work. This time I'm gonna take a little sap green. There, I already got some out. So that time we used burnt sienna and Van Dyke brown. This time we're gonna do Van Dyke brown and sap green. Remember, just let it mix right on the brush. You want that some green spots, some brown spots. Don't put a lot of color, just a little bit of color on the bristles. Let's see where we'll start. Come back and pull these up. As it gets closer, we start seeing a little bit more color. Still too far away to know exactly what kind of tree it is, though. See, I already. Now I'm just going back through with just Van Dyke brown. This will add a different layer of tree logs underneath there. After I put down a little bit of brown, I'll come back with some green. And work them together. All right. Connie back, or Karina back, thank you for joining. Peace something. Thank you for coming in. Samina, thank you. Raul Martin Reyes, thank you. Alright. So we've added all these colors. We'll add a little bit more of a dark line right here at this bottom. I see what I want to do down here now. We're going to pull some reflections right out of this in just a second. Alright, go ahead and put in some of this dark. doesn't have to be exact. This is about illusions. All right, just with those same colors, brown and green. Make sure you pull straight down. All right, and clean the brush off. That way I can come back with just green. Sap green, I mean. This would be an easy painting for someone to try at home. I think you'd like it. Deborah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If I miss anybody at the end of the live, I'll try to go back and read all the comments and questions. And thank all y'all for coming. Alright, just sap green. Tap a little bit of color. I'm going to do the same thing. Come back, add color. And if this isn't dark enough, I'll come back and add some brown. It's all about getting it to where you like it. Start off with a small amount. It's a lot easier to work with. Once you put too much on it, it's just too much. It'll turn into mud quick. Alright, go right around. Right, do the same thing. Alright, I am going to add some more dark color right here against this. Alright, that'll work. Make sure you got a clean dry brush. Clean dry brush. Pull down on this really, really lightly. No pressure. You're just picking up any heavy paint and pulling some of those stringy lines out. All right, now go straight across, lightly, no pressure at all, none. I'm really just dragging the brush. No pressure. You put any pressure, you'll just destroy everything you put up there. All right. Let's put us a little bit of ground back there. And I'll use just some Van Dyke brown. Get some right on the palette knife. We don't need a whole lot. Not like usual. We just need to show a little indication of some dirt. I do this just like my waterlines. Just scratch them out. side. In a minute, we'll take some white and put a really good waterline in here. Alright, there's our lens. Let's put that little waterline. Right underneath it. Let's see. Let's start the furthest back, that little spot. That's the further spot in this painting. So I'm going to start back there because as I shake my knife, I can work it forward or down the painting. And it's so far back there, we don't have to have a whole bunch of... And you gotta be a real strong waterline. I like doing water lines. They're a lot of fun, actually. Alright, got us a water line up there now. What do y'all think so far? Hey Josie, thanks for coming in. Thank all y'all for all the likes. Would y'all believe that in 7 months or 8 months, I think it might be 8, is how long I've had TikTok. And I have gotten over 2 million likes. But that does not relate to dollars to TikTok. It may help my algorithm get sent out and stuff. But it does not equal money. I've had some lives up to 220,000 likes. And it didn't add $1. But that's all my process of learning. Alexa, thank you for coming in. Michael, how's it going? Big Asher, thank you for coming in. Alright, let's put us a really strong line of some trees over here on this side. Man, I got a puzzle piece. That's crazy. I got a puzzle piece. Sorry about that. It took me a minute. Alright, let's put some strong trees over there. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit of, once again, just brown and sap green. Just mixing them right on the brush. I like doing that because you get so many different variations when you highlight, you know. White on the green gives you a different highlight. White on the brown gives you a different. Let's start. Yeah, we'll start over here. I might even add a little bit of black. I want the bottom parts to be kind of dark. And just going back and forth from the brown and black, putting some nice tops in here. I need to add a little bit of linseed oil. It's not coming off as easy as I want. I'm just going to add a couple of drops. You gotta be careful. Now, I like linseed oil because it makes your paint creamy unless you add too much. Go back in with some dark. By layering your colors, it just gives you a lot of depth. Makes it look like you got a bunch of thousands of trees on that hill. Alright, that'll work. This time we're going to, let me see. We'll make a little reflection right there. So just with the colors we already got on there, grab it, pull down. Make sure you pull straight down. All right, I'm gonna go back and add a little bit of color. Just putting color up here because when I go to pull it down, it's going to stretch these lines straight out anyway. But it's the texture. That's going to make it look right. Remember, it don't have to be exact, just close. And just tap in, getting these colors in there. Alright, that'll work. Now, of course, I could leave it like that. Put a water line on it. It don't look that bad. But I'm going to pull down with just a little bit. It really brings those lines better. To me, it does. I don't know what you think. Alright. Now, knock any heavy paint off the brush. Go across it lightly. 3 hairs and some air. And you see how it starts bringing that light across it. You can pull left or right. Sometimes I do both. But because I don't want the trees to come out this way, I'm going to do the top line this way. I can come back and make some of those lines wiggle if I want. Lightly. Go straight across. Reflections. Alright, that's good. To me, it's good. What do y'all think? I need to put a little bit of dirt underneath the bottom of it. Not a whole lot. Alright. The small side of my knife. Get a little bit of white. Go right underneath. just like that. All right, let's put something from that side over this way. I think that should close it up. All right, y'all tell me what you think. I'm gonna look at it for just a second. Deborah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank all y'all for your hearts, for your likes. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we gotta put something over here. Let me get the fan brush. I'm going to black and sap green. Very little black. Let's see. Alright. I'm gonna add a tiny drop of linseed oil. I want to be able to touch it and it come off. And right there, I could tell by touching it, it didn't want to come off that easy. So I just had to thin the paint down a little bit, that's all. Just with the corner of the brush, I'm going to tap me out a beautiful little tree. Black and sap green. Alright, that'll work. Definitely gonna need a little buddy. Yeah, I believe so. And, like Bob would say, this one got stepped on. He's a little crooked. make sure your bottoms are dark. We'll put a little rock right there. Take a little bit of black. And you can get a 2-inch. Do this any way you want. We'll go back and get some cad yellow. And that's because that black and yellow makes a beautiful green. If you don't want to come off, remember add a little bit of linseed oil. Let's see, add a little bit of blue to that. I want a little bit darker of a green. Blue and yellow make a beautiful green too. Alright, let me go ahead and highlight those trees just a little bit. Not a whole lot. Alright, now I'll mix that blue and yellow. Need a little bit darker of a blue. It's alright. Alright, that'll work. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, let's see. What else can I put on there? You know what? That'll be good. We'll pull a reflection out of that. Come back with some brown. Remember, we're going to pull these colors straight down so they mix. The only thing we're trying to do is just put some color up here. Not globs of it though. Alright, go straight into the sap green. Alright, got enough color on there. Take my dry 1.5 inches. Pull this out. Pull down lightly. 3 hairs and some hair. This picks up any heavy paint and just kind of blends everything else. Alright, knock off any heavy paint. Lightly go across it. I like to drag my light into my reflection. That way it gives me all those white streaks going across it. But you can go left or right. It's just whatever makes you comfortable, whatever you like. Alright. Let's see. Need some ground. Since it's a little bit closer, we'll show a little bit more of it. Alright. Take a little bit of white. Real small amount. Alright, now we'll put a waterline under it. It's a bunch of steps, but most of them are just repeating each other. Alright, let's see. We'll put one little bush right over here in this corner. One little small one. Get a little brown. A little black. I like to smash it really hard to put some color down there, and then go back with some dark colors and tap in like there's branches running everywhere. That's a big bush. Alright, and we're just going to take a little bit of white and highlight it. We'll call that done. Actually, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go into a little bit of red and white. All right. That's going to do it. Let's pull some tape off, see what it looks like. That's always the part I like. But man, my hands are filthy. I almost want to go wash them first. Man, that's some good tape. Even when I get bad tape, it's good tape. Y'all give me just a second. I'd rather put it in my lap and get it off than leave it up there and mess it up. And that is some good tape. All right, let's see. Couple more little pieces. Come on. I'm gonna have to touch up the side to this one. Got paint on my fingers. One last little piece that I ain't show it to y'all. You know, I feel like by doing it this way, you don't even need a frame. What do y'all think? Hi, Leah. How are you today? Hey, Joey. Thanks for coming. Hey, Stewie. Janie. I hope I said that right. I can barely see it. Thank all y'all for coming today to watch. I really appreciate it. I hope I inspire at least one person to give it a shot. I think you will amaze yourself. I did. And it's addictive too. Once you do it and see that you can do it, oh man. Whew. It's kind of hard to stop then. Mr. A, thank you. Thank all y'all so much. Really appreciate it. I hope I can find a way to do this for a living. Y'all, please tell me what you think. You know, I'm gonna stay on here for a few minutes just to see what y'all's reactions are. Should I stop painting? Am I wasting my time? Hi, Vanessa. All night long, I've been having to tap a button because it says TikTok is not responding. In 5 minutes, it's probably put it up 20 times. Packaling, Packalone, how are you? Harvard, how are you? Alright, I guess I'll get off here. Since nobody has any questions or anything, I really appreciate it. Lauren, thank you. Alright, guys. Y'all have a good night.